We are in the 2023 Austin-built Tesla Model Y. This is the standard range. It's approximately $3,000 less than the long range. It has the improved comfort suspension. In addition, it has the 19-inch wheels, which bring even more comfort. Now, yesterday I did 190 miles in this car, and one complaint that I have always had with my Tesla Model Y is it doesn't deliver on its factory miles that it's rated at. Now, that's EPA range, which is a different test, and I'm also pretty sure that Tesla does not do real-world testing with their cars. I'm almost certain they do it. It's like a simulation of some sort, while most other manufacturers actually do real-world testing. A lot of times, I'm getting like 70% of my advertised range. So yesterday, 190 miles, I got 86% of what was shown as the displayed range. Now, I know displayed range is not accurate in Teslas, but why? Why is it not accurate? If these are the best electric vehicles, why are the displayed range not accurate, and it's accurate in every other electric vehicle that I drive? So that's been frustrating, but this still got 86%, which was one of the best I've ever tested. And at certain points, I was going 85 miles an hour. I wasn't trying to be efficient in any way, and this did a really nice job of that. Also, the ride quality and the sound deadening in the car is significantly better. I think a lot of that has to do with the carpet that they put in here, just basically trying to reduce the sound waves bouncing all over the car. You have this huge glass roof where that creates a large echo. I remember the first time driving a Model Y, it was like you're in an empty room by yourself and you can hear an echo. But they've done a nice job of putting more sound insulation in, and I think it's what you can see is just the carpeting that's all around the car. It's in the trunk, there's the trunk cover, there's carpeting in the door pockets here. They've put it everywhere and they've done a really nice job, and I gotta say that I'm really impressed with the standard range, 0 to 60 in 5 seconds. So let's talk about the comparison between the two. 0 to 60 in 5 seconds for this. For another $3,000, you get 50 more miles of range and 0 to 60 of 4.8 seconds with the ability to also boost the performance of your Model Y. If you guys want to see how much horsepower your Tesla Model Y will make after you add the acceleration boost to it, I'll have a video linked in the description so you can check that out. It's crazy. Took it on a dyno and tested it and everything and did 0 to 60 tests. It's really impressive. What's more impressive is the brand new Electric Escape Vintage Tee from INTOTHEAM.com. This is the second collaboration I've done with them. These shirts are pre-washed and shrunk. The fitment is great. I mean, look, if you're not going to the gym, these are gonna give you a little more pop. But yeah, you can get these live right now on INTOTHEAM.com. Code Gjeebs will save you 10%. I earn a commission from these t-shirts that directly supports the channel. The quality is excellent. To those of, there's like thousands of you who've purchased this. My dog, he loves it. He wants one, okay? So there's thousands of you that have purchased the INTOTHEAM t-shirts. You know the quality of them. They're excellent. INTOTHEAM.com, thank you for supporting the channel. Get the new vintage t-shirt, supports the Gjeebs channel. Now back to it. Riding around town in this, I've always said this, you know, if you want an EV, you can basically buy any EV you want. If you're going to be driving it around town, you're probably going to have a good experience. Now, I still recommend, simply because of how solid the software is with Teslas, you go the Tesla route, just because it's proven, they know how to fix things. Whereas a lot of these manufacturers, like if you buy a Mercedes, for example, you can run into a situation where your car, the dealership cannot fix the software, and you're 6 months without the car that you paid $90,000 for. There's also a much larger chance you get your electric car and you never have an issue. It's like all the negative issues rise to the top because that's what gets clicks online, unfortunately. So most likely you'll have a good experience. I just think you have the best chance of having a great experience while driving a Tesla. And the ride quality is one of those things that people have said, it rides too stiff, it rides too stiff. My recommendation is get the 19-inch wheels, that helps. Also, these newer 23 models are better. I even know coming in and out of my driveway in my car, it's like goosh, goosh. And I have an aftermarket luxury coilover suspension setup. It just rides like garbage still, very stiff and raw. These have the double pane noise insulated glass. So they've done so much to improve the cabin of the Model Y. And now with the Model 3 Highland released, you can see what's going to be coming for the next generation Model Y, probably sometime next year or early 2025. It's really well done, and I'm impressed with the standard range. I always looked at it like, you know, why would you get that when you can get the long range? Well, because you can save $3,000. That's why. And that's, you know, what, If you finance the car, that's $60 a month that you're saving. So I definitely think it's worth looking at. I don't think you're going to be let down by this at all. The ride quality is better, noise insulation is better. The ride quality is also better on the long range model. They did all these same upgrades to the long range and the performance, but this specifically I wanted to test the standard range. I do still believe that the 4680 batteries that they have in this, it's a letdown so far. You know, they go on these battery days and it's like all these EV startups come out and say, we're gonna have a 600-mile EV and then they come out and it has 180 miles of range and it's garbage. And you'd think Tesla like would learn, like, you're the leader by far, it's not even close, okay? So just tell us the truth. They're saying, oh, it's gonna be, you know, 14% lighter, 10% more efficient. It is the worst range, okay? And it has the 4680 cells. So I don't know. I like, where are those numbers? The numbers that they gave us on that battery day would add up to a 400+ mile range Model Y, which would annihilate other EV brands. I mean, that, because I think a lot of people that I've talked to have said, look, if the car can really do 300 to 400 miles of range, real world, okay, I would consider buying an electric vehicle. But here we are with this, you know, the structural battery pack, all that stuff, it gets 279 miles of range. And it probably delivers on that 279. I mean, I feel like this is significantly more efficient than my Model Y. And I'll be doing more testing on this, dyno tests, all kinds of stuff coming up. So I just didn't have a lot of time with it and wanted to at least share my thoughts on what the standard range is. And I think it's a great package, especially for around town doing city driving. I can't remember if it still has, I think it still has a 250 kilowatt charging speed, which is great because you want those max speeds to be really get in and out on the V3 chargers. Yeah, you're gonna love this car. It's not a letdown. It's kind of nice. Like, if you get a base BMW X3 and then you get in the BMW X3 M340i, that's a totally different car. Or if you get the X3M, that's a totally different car than the base model. It's missing a lot. There's all these empty buttons, whereas this being the base Model Y, you're getting all of the features minus performance features that you get on the long range and the performance Model Y. And I think that's a good and a bad thing about Tesla. Like, you know, you may not feel as special or separated because essentially have the same car as the other models in the lineup. But I do think that's a good thing for most consumers. You don't feel like you're missing out. You've got this infotainment system. You have the excellent sound system. I just think it's a really well done package. They're obviously going to sell a ton of these. And as chargers become more prevalent, range on the car will become less of a matter. So they've done a really nice job with this. All the improvements that people have been complaining about over time, I think they did a nice job addressing them in the standard range. Hopefully they just continue to increase the efficiency of the cars to get us to that 300 to 400 mile real world range. And I think you'll have far less complaints. So I hope you guys like this video. If you want to see the changes between this car and my 2020 Model Y, that might be helpful if you're looking for used cars. Click this video right here. That will be useful to you.